My right, your left is the head coach of the Rouse Raiders, Coach Josh Mann. Coach, how are you?
Hanging in there. It's Monday. You know, we're excited to already have a day in the book and ready to get to a new week after a successful week one. So lots to talk about tonight.
Lots to talk about, lots of highlights to go through. Got lots of players to talk to, some coaches. We'll bring him up. He is so excited to be.
Absolutely.
You can tell. Coaches are always excited to put the microphone in front of their face. One of the things that we're going to talk about, too, Coach, is this actually week one? Was last week week 0? How does this work? That's one question I had for you.
That's a trick question. I don't know the answer to. It used to be called week 0, and then it went to – I think they did away with week 0, so it officially starts week 1 because you had where some schools weren't – some schools didn't start at that time. Right. But now it's week 1 through week 11. I think it's the regular season. Some people have a bye, but you're going to only play 10 games.
You only play 10. Yeah. We're going to call it week 2 as here we are after week 1. We're just week 2. We're just going to keep it simple. Coach Mann and myself, just nice and simple. We don't need any complicated things. One of the things that we do have to do is we have to thank our sponsors. We have a long list of sponsors that are bringing you Rouse Raider football as well as Inside Raider Nation, as well as supporting the program as a whole from top to bottom, from the freshmen, the JV, as well as the varsity. The 4 big ones we want to thank is the Crossover, Chaparral Ice Center, Rudy's Barbecue, and the other one is, this is a test.
You got me. You don't have to list. You got me blank. Smile Doctors.
Smile Doctors. How could we forget?
Yeah, I saw the commercials a lot during the replay of the game, so I was about to go myself to Smile Doctors after that.
Yeah, my brain just froze there for a minute, so that's the reason I quickly forgot. But we'll get to more of our sponsors, but we're going to jump right into it because we have a lot of highlights that we're going to talk about. And Coach does a great job sending me all those. And I had to get the privilege to break them down and decide which ones are going to make the highlight reel for the show. We also have one that we'll play during the pregame, which you saw the instant replay, courtesy of A to Z Sports Media, and we have to thank our sports media team and also the guy behind the camera that you don't see too often, Mr. Cody Franks, executive producer, doing a great job each and every season. And every coach, I don't know what it is, maybe it's the culture, but Cody gets better week by week, along with the players. So it must be your coaching.
Definitely. It's got to be that. It just rubs off.
It does. And so
think where you started to where you are now.
Yeah, exactly. where we've been, but we're continuing to make it better, and we're going to jump right in, Cody, to the highlights. Week 1. First one here is by this middle linebacker, number 36.
Yeah. Zach had a game. He ended up with 7 tackles, 1 assist, 1 tackle for loss, and 1 sack on it. Graded out 30-plus points on our positive production chart. So great to see, first time starting out there, really diagnosed the plays well, tackled well. Anytime he got to the guy, it was definitely the guy went down. So we were real excited for him.
We saw him go right underneath that number 52 and got to the quarterback there. Both of them, I thought Jones and Glidewell, both good quarterbacks and dangerous.
Yeah, they definitely showed the speed that I was kind of concerned of. I knew they ran hard, but, it's hard to justify. They played 2 teams that we're not familiar with, so how fast are they, how fast are them? And so definitely their speed was better, which was great because, defensively we pitched a shutout with the ones. That's defense. Our first defense hasn't been scored on this year so far, knock on wood. So we're going to do that right now. But, overall, really impressed the way Zach got to the ball.
The next highlight here is going to be one of the seniors gets involved in the action here.
Yes.
And we'll look at it. This is the tight angle and wide open. And I think the only thing he was thinking at the 25-yard line is don't drop it, don't fall down, get in the end zone, and he did.
Yeah, you can see really off this angle that all 3 defenders jump Jalen right there, and that's the attention he brings. And turn Will loose. That was a great job by Will because the previous play we tried to hit Corey down the field, and, he just steps off so we could get another guy on fast, and Will was ready. And, first catch in your high school career on varsity level goes for, a 65-yard touchdown. His average is 1 catch he's averaging 65 yards a catch right now and 1 touchdown. I think he just needs to retire. I don't know if we're going to beat that stat line, but the excitement was after the play, watching all Troy, Jalen, all those guys sprinting down the field. They were so happy for Will to get that, and that was, that was a big moment because I think we were, that was right before half, and really kind of separated the game at that point.
Yeah. Also good protection by the big guys up front. Did a good job all night. We'll talk about them some more in the next play.
Kept him clean.
Next play we'll talk about, speaking of Corey, and I told Coach Pleasant, they're matching up on Troy, they're matching up on Jalen. I see Corey is getting involved early.
Oh, absolutely. That was third play of the game. Great job by Jalen. Again, we had a clean pocket. Look at the hustle of 10 getting down the field. Corey showing that speed to get in the end zone, running away from him. Yeah, that was super. You can't start a game off better on your third play throwing, and just added to Mason's total on that night. He gets a lot of those, but again, we're RPO in this. This is called, so he has to read the box right. He has to know where to go. There's a lot, just not throwing and running a stop route. That's easy to call. That was a true RPO off of that, and really proud of Mason diagnosing that, and Corey catching the ball and Jalen blocking.
Jalen getting down the field. I mean, you see that by your receivers. He could have stopped. He could have just said best of luck, but he got down there and just got in the way of that last defender to make sure.
Your senior wide receiver leads the team in pancakes, which I know Coach Ahurst is not going to like to hear that. But Jalen had 6 pancakes, and Alex DeVille came in second with 5. And so when your receivers are blocking the way they did last night, again, it made that. Yeah, Mason throwing out there, which he does a phenomenal job. We have the running backs and the receivers, but when you block like that on the edge, people do not like seeing that. It's not fun.
Next one, I think, is, again, a pass to Corey, and just looking at the protection by the O-line, giving him plenty of time.
Plenty of time, drove it in there. Great job of driving that ball down into the read. We kind of worked that a little bit. We thought we could get some, just look at slide, hands on. Marcus involved. Our backs did a great job of stepping up into protection. Corey there, you talked about him. He went 3 for 91 yards.
Oh, wow.
Corey Simmons did. Yeah, he averaged 30.3. He had 1 touchdown. Big night. When you're averaging 30 yards off of 3 catches, that's an impressive stat.
Yeah, and here's a play by Marcus Waldman. Gets to the outside.
Yeah.
That little stutter step.
I tell you, if you can go back and look at that, watch 71, Hayden Wood pull up in that hole and attack that linebacker. That was just as exciting as right here. You'll see it. He's just coming through. You'll see him aiming up on 25. Boom, just taking the lick to him. We got good body-on-body blocks. Marcus, again, Marcus is just another one of those backs that's an added staple to that backfield. And, we were short 2 going into this game, and Calvin and him just picked up the slack. Marcus, I believe, went 6 for 54 yards, averaged 9 yards a carry. He got the 1 touchdown. And then, Calvin, our other workhorse, went 9 for 60 for 6.7. I had a lot of questions. Man, y'all didn't run the ball really well. And I went, we got it out on the perimeter more. There's a couple times, remember, we got stuff, maybe missed a block or 2. But then we went for 119 yards off of very few carries and averaged great percentages between all of our backs. And Troy's 1 run was really good, too. So,
yeah, this next play, I believe, is the pass to Jalen.
Jalen should have had 3 touchdowns on the night. He got robbed on definitely 2.
This may be the one that he got robbed.
No, this is a great drive. This
was my favorite play. As you watch number 9,
yeah,
literally just hanging on for dear life, and he drags him. That's how powerful he is.
I think the rest of us on the sideline, just go down, because we saw him wrapped around the ankle. Like, no, go down. Go down. But Jalen's he's gonna compete. He's gonna try to take every one of these, which makes him so dangerous. Great job by Calvin right there. He was in the backfield when that play started.
Yeah.
And what I loved about that is we were watching film on Saturday, and they're going through it, and Coach Pleasant's talking about, hey, right here, that's probably time. You're kind of wrapped up. Bodies come, just get down. And Corey Simmons points out, guys, look at Calvin getting down the field blocking. Like, they were bragging on their blocking more than their catches in the film, which just gives you goosebumps. And obviously Coach Elrod and those guys, Coach Lambert, are really doing a great job teaching them that selfless attitude, because they're going to double Troy and Jalen, and now they got to pick other areas, and we didn't get our head down, and their time came, their stats came.
Yeah, it did. This next one, I believe, is to the highlight reel himself. Get it out there on the edge.
Yeah, Troy. And that was the opening drive. We got it back. We had scored, finally got back in rhythm, got it up to 14. Defense held, got us back with like 1:05. And we just executed our 2-minute drill, which we're pretty much a 2-minute drill all the time. But great job of Troy running out, getting the bounce. Great ball by Mason there.
Here's one I think Coach Ahurst would probably like to see from this angle, because this is one of Calvin's runs that he gets up the middle, and just great blocking by that. Watch the offensive line.
Big down. Great job again. Wood taking 73 and just moving him out of the hole. We're matched up on the right. Great job. Look at that drive on 1. That's just exciting.
And the turf monster right at about the 50 came up.
That's Travis Bartz, and getting in there, and running back, getting up on his guy, driving him. Just that turf monster just tripped Calvin a little bit.
He was a little upset when he came to the sideline, I'm sure. This next one is Big Ben, and I was so happy to see it. But
Yeah.
right here, boom.
Boom. Lower the shoulder, get the big first down. That's huge. We got pinned a couple times deep, and your goal there is at least get 2 first downs.
Right.
So when you punt the ball, you have a chance to flip the position. That was a big third down. Ben had a couple things going in and out of the week that we didn't have him full time, but glad we had him when it mattered most on that night.
And here's the one. I think you can see the power and the elusiveness of Jalen when he gets on the edge. But it's also, like you said, the blocking.
Great block by Corey. Nice little stiff arm. And you're just not going to get him with one. I mean, very rarely is somebody going to tackle him just one-on-one.
Yeah.
And he's so much faster. He's such a big kid. I mean, he's over 200 pounds.
Yeah.
I mean, he's going I wish we can get our wide camera fixer. That's not a good angle. But, we're going to get that fixed this week.
The next one, you got all the receivers involved. This Donnie got this one here. Got on the edge.
Big catch. You see him making – I don't know if we got tackled by one receiver very often the whole night by the whole crew. Again, that's a big ball outside. Good read on the route. Again, a lot of our routes are option-based, so great job, good timing. When you're throwing to that many receivers and your timing's on with that many, that's a lot of good work. So
I was really looking for this one to go to Randy Moss on the left side in the end zone, but Mason decided to go to the right side.
A lot of space, great ball, good separation, great job of getting the foot down. We've worked a lot of emphasis going into this year on our red zone passes.
Yeah.
And, we felt like maybe that was something we had left short the year before, and Mason just delivers a dime right there to that. The only place they can get it.
Right there.
Great job. Foot down. Man. Unbelievable. Troy decides there's not many people that can play with him.
Here's one that you talk about your safeties coming down and blowing people up.
Absolutely.
Open field tackles. We talked about that. It was just good, but you see number 4 right there.
Yeah, super. We've seen this out of Jacob De Leon all the time, and Ashton had a great scrimmage, and then now it's live though. It's got to matter. Ashton came in. We'll talk about him again later in the show, but he had 8 tackles and 1 assist going into the middle of the third quarter before he came out, and I mean that's monsters. And then most of them were around the ball. This is the second one here.
Yeah.
Again,
these are a lot of the seconds too, Coach.
Yeah.
That's the reason this was put in there, is just look to the pursuit to the football.
You see Shane Hudson and Anthony Hornsby; those guys just jumping all over the ball.
And then this one here, I don't know if there's a scarier guy to look at coming at you like
Getting
this.
Flat, bang, we're all there. I mean, Jason O'Reilly's there, 28's there, 29's there. I mean, we're all just around this. We kind of opened the season like we did the year before, a little kind of, I think, trying to judge and read the speed of the game and kind of bend, don't break, and then they settled in, found the groove. And after there for a while, they were pitching 3 and outs, which is really great for what we needed to see out of that defense.
And of course, we're going to end on a defensive play. That's Coach Mann's favorite, and this would be number 36 coming through here. A little bit of delay blitz.
Yeah.
A little twist right there, and didn't even pick him up.
Great call. Great job of Coach Alexander picking the right time to dial this up. Good job of the stunt. The stunt really up front is what frees him up. You'll see him sliding over. Boom. Pull the gap. And then really Castaneda set that up with his penetration. And great job by Zach hitting that window.
Yeah, between Jason O'Reilly and Castaneda, and then Nico Fisher getting involved. Front 3, you got Ben as a rotation in there as a starter. I mean, that you got a little bit of depth as far as the defensive line goes.
Well, that was nice because we didn't know that coming into the game, to be honest. Ben ended up with 3 solo tackles, 2 assists. He had 2 tackles for loss, 1 sack. Not a bad night. He graded out at like a 21 production rate. And so how we grade our defensive guys is you get so many points for a tackle for loss, sacks, all obviously equal more points, interception, pass break. But if you miss a tackle, you miss a line, you jumped off sides, defensive penalty, you can also lose points. So if you're in that plus range, you probably had a good night. If you're plus 8 to 10, you're probably great. And then if you get up into the 15, 20 range, really play well. Like I said, Zach graded out at 30. Davis was at 17, and Armstrong was at 21. I talked about all the backs and stuff, but let's talk about Mason's numbers. I mean, goodness, 23 of 31. Just that alone, 393 yards, averaged 7.74 percentage rate, so he was 74% on the night. Averaged 17 yards a throw, 5 touchdowns to 5 different guys, and his QBR was 155 for the game.
Wow.
I think right now he's in the top 4 or so in max preps in the state already. number 1 in 5A, number 4 overall. Get my statistician from the back, phoning it in through the ear, make sure I'm right on stats. What a night. Troy was 7, like we talked about, and we didn't get to talk about Alex Vance getting his first touchdown too. All those guys talked about DeVille, 5 pickups, 5 pancakes on the night. So, overall, when you look at all the numbers, really what we wanted to come out, like biggest things, lots of different guys play. We shuffled around our depth. At one point, we had a sophomore rotating and starting on the offensive line, which we didn't anticipate happening this year. And then we saw, Nico Fisher, sophomore, get in, and then Mason Rigger, our freshman.
School history
got in and started on the first play of the game.
Yeah.
He was out there, didn't jump off sides, didn't false start. I mean, we almost had a little poll going because you got to be nervous. Shoot, he handled it like a pro and played great. And boy, you even saw this morning his different level of practice this morning after getting that first one and watching film. He's studying the game. Congratulations to him. I was so proud of him. He's making it hard and making Nick kind of have to hustle to get back a little sooner. So that's fun to see.
That's good to see. Competition is always good. Question is, Coach, are we going to remember that stat in 3 years? That's a good trivia question.
That'll be a good trivia
First
question.
Varsity freshman player in school history to start a game. And what game was it? I'm just thinking trivia down the road.
Get a little Facebook trivia going. See if we can get that poll right.
Yeah, we could do that. It's just we got to remember the answers. That's the problem. So, anyway, we're up against our first break as the executive producer gives the signal. So we'll take a break. We'll come back. We will have some player interviews, a senior spotlight moment here on Inside Raider Nation, live from Sharksburger. We'll be back right after this.
Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue. Our pits are 100% wood-fired with oak, a slower burning wood than the mesquite used by others. Along with thyme and oak, we cook with a dry spice that ensures each plate of Rudy's Barbecue is perfectly ready for you. Apply some of our famous sauce, and dinner is served. The Crossover's vision is to give kids and adults a chance to find out what they're passionate about and to motivate them to work hard to achieve great things. We want to bring families together in one destination where they can enjoy their time together no matter what dreams they are chasing. From here, you can go anywhere. The Crossover is Cedar Park's premier sports, wellness, and entertainment destination and is a proud supporter of Rouse Raiders football. Visit crossovertx.com to learn more and go Raiders. Chaparral Ice and Field, located in Austin and Cedar Park. We offer a variety of classes and adult leagues in skating, hockey, cricket, curling, soccer, and lacrosse. Come on down to the coolest place in Texas, Chaparral Ice and Field. We aren't just ice anymore.
Welcome back to Inside Raider Nation live from Sharksburger, and I have a few of the big old line here next to me.
Yes, sir.
A lot up here. Wow. All right, so we're going to let you introduce yourself.
I'm Grant Newman. I was going to play right tackle this year.
I'm Hayden Wood. I'm the right guard.
And I'm Zach Allen. I'm the left guard.
Left guard. All right, so offensive lineman. The myth is you guys eat a lot. Is that correct?
I think.
Is it a myth?
Reputation precedes us.
Okay.
We eat a lot, definitely.
All right. So you guys Sharksburgers fans? Yes?
So these two actually work there, and I just eat off them for free, you know?
Okay. So
It's
how many
pretty great.
hamburgers can you do? How many's the most? If you three had a contest, who would win?
Definitely me.
How many?
More than them.
More than
I think it actually depends on what the food is, because if it's like tacos or something like that,
Okay.
hands down, I'm winning.
You
Hands
win.
down, I'm winning.
Okay. All right. All right. We're going to start with you, Mr. Allen, on the end.
All right.
We always ask us the same question. Do you eat ice cream first of all?
Absolutely.
Okay. Silly question. Favorite flavor of ice cream?
Original vanilla. Keeping
was
it plain.
Okay. I was really thinking something else for you, but okay. Favorite flavor of ice cream?
My favorite flavor of ice cream would have to be cookies and cream.
Cookies? I can do that. All right, Grant. I'm thinking something really different here for you.
I'm a big fan of like the Oreo one, you know, like the Oreo McFlurry.
Oh, okay.
Give me the Oreo McFlurry, and I'll take a couple
All
of those
day
down.
long. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I figured you guys could eat. First thing I got to ask you guys, you guys had to kind of mix and match through the game, right? A little bit. Some people playing lots of different positions. How well do you guys think you did as a unit in the game on Thursday?
As a unit on Thursday, I'd say we did pretty well. It's just like trying to get to like know each other and like which roles and who's gonna take what role, because we haven't got like a whole bunch of practice in to where like I know for sure if a tight end or a outside linebacker decides to blitz, I don't know for sure who's next to me 100% knows to go get them just yet, because since we've been mix and match so much, we're still trying to find that chemistry on the line.
Okay. All right, Zach, we're going to ask you favorite moment from Coach Hayhurst.
Favorite moment from Coach Hayhurst.
And remember, there's no repercussions here. You will not get in trouble. Just no deep, dark secrets.
I don't know about that, but probably my sophomore year when we were starting to do spring ball or like some spring camp, and he was getting mad at us for like slipping and falling when we were doing some drills, and he was like, "All right, guys, move over. I got this." And then he totally eats it and just falls and hurts himself.
He hurts himself in the meantime.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
He was
hurt
out
his
for
back.
like 2 to 3 weeks, just like nursing that on his own.
Was at the trainers every morning. He was getting treatment done.
It was during the middle of COVID though, so he was getting like treatment outside in the heat as well.
Well, that's got to be rough. All right. Grant, obviously, weren't able to play on Thursday. How quick is your recovery time? How quick are you going to be back?
So actually, I went to go see the doctor today, and so we talked it through, and it's going to be about 4 more weeks.
Okay.
So I should be back for homecoming. Is the estimated time to come back. I mean, the bone's looking pretty good. I mean, he said that he's already sees a little bit of growth coming back there. For all those who don't know, I broke my collarbone at practice. I wish I could say it was something super cool. I just tripped and fell, and I mean, you know, just things happen. You know, God's got a plan, and I'm hoping that can't wait till I can pull through and just show because I did grow a lot this off season. I just can't wait to show what that looked like.
I can't wait to get you back out there because I know Coach Hayhurst is going to let you loose, and the pancake block count will go up for the offensive lineman versus the wide receiver. Versus the wide receivers. The wide receivers are doing a great job.
Wide receivers
that bar.
killed it last night.
Yeah.
I mean, last night I was just a teammate out there, so I was watching Jalen just destroy corners, and I was so happy to go see Tyra Barbsky. He did really well out there. He went in when Zach hurt his knee, and he did really well. And just going to go see Blake, who it was his first varsity experience and game out there, and he was on the ground a lot, but he did a really good job on the ground.
Yeah.
And I mean,
I don't
and then
think
you also
he
saw-
heard that, but that's okay.
yeah, he's too distracted over there. And then Bartz also did really well out there, who came in. I mean, he really did come in there and was like, after I got hurt, and like just came in there and took the reins on that role. And I mean, I know him and Hayden are working on that right now and working on how that works out and what chemistry looks like. Because we had pretty good chemistry, I would say, during spring ball and just working with stuff. I mean, when you're going against a PWO Texas guy, you kind of have to get pretty good pretty quick.
Yeah, you do. And you guys have realized that school history was made by Mason being out there and starting. That's the first freshman in school history to start a varsity game. Yeah, so that young guy coming in now as seniors, you guys have to basically take him under your wing, teach him what you've been taught. So what's the best piece of advice, Hayden, that you could give a freshman coming up to varsity?
One of the things of advice that I remember telling him on the game was like just to make sure your head was clear, and that's more of a mental battle than it really is physical, and that he just needs to stay calm and just do what he was taught to do by the coaches.
Yeah, not too high, not too low, right? Listen to Coach Hayhurst, and if you don't, Coach Noble will make sure that you listen. How good is it to have two former collegiate players, an All-American, Coach Noble from University of Houston, and I believe Coach Hayhurst, I don't know if he's an All-American, but he went to Oklahoma's second university, or as they call it, Oklahoma State. I call it Oklahoma's second university. We'll give him a hard time here in a minute. But how is it having those two guys, and what does that mean to you as a player to be able to get coached by coaches of that level?
I personally think it's amazing just because like they've actually went and like competed against other people, so they know exactly what they're talking about and know exactly what to do and how to do it. And I think it's just amazing to just listen and fascinating.
Yeah. All right, Zach, you have a sports football player. Let's talk sports. We'll keep it a favorite football player of all time. Do you have one?
Of all time,
Mm-hmm.
I'll probably say Jerry Rice.
Jerry Rice, a receiver. Okay.
Definitely.
I go with that.
Him,
Even though I'm-
him or Quentin Nelson, if I'm talking O-line.
Okay.
But
All right. What about you, Hayden?
Favorite football player of all time? Actually, would not know. I have never actually ever thought about it like that.
Who's your
before.
favorite team that you follow?
My favorite team is the Pittsburgh Steelers, only because ever since I was like 7-ish, I've been following them, and they
Thank
just
you.
my favorite team ever
yeah.
since I was little.
Okay. I knew we collided for a reason, but that's the reason. I'm a Cowboys fan. So, favorite college football team?
College football team. So I lived in Fort Worth for 7 years.
So, you're going
And
to say
I-
Oklahoma.
No,
Oh.
TCU. No, I'm a big TCU. Go Frogs.
Okay.
I mean, that's kind of the dream school. I mean, right now, and if that were, I mean, if I was able to go there, not even for football, just like academics
go?
would be super cool. Just go back home and go see all my friends over there, and TCU.
Favorite pro team?
So Dallas Cowboys. I mean,
There you
lived
go.
in Fort Worth.
You
How are
have
you
to.
not going to like the Dallas Cowboys?
I know, even
you're
through
going to
the-
get shot if you don't like the Dallas Cowboys.
Even through the bad times, right?
Even through
Even through the
Tony
bad-
Romeo.
Yes, yes. Or even worse, we don't even have a good backup quarterback, but that's a different story. I mean,
It's a tough situation.
Yeah, it is just Danucci's Danucci and Rush is Rush, and we just hope that Dak doesn't get hurt again because then our hopes and dreams will go down in tubes.
Yeah, RIP that ankle.
Yeah, tape that thing up, do whatever you need to do, cement around it. You have a favorite sports movie?
So my favorite sports movie, oh crap, it was like a basketball movie that Disney made, Glory Road,
Okay.
and it was like about the first all-black basketball team. But like the first hour and a half of that movie is just pure comedy.
Yeah.
And it's just this basketball team just that goes to like Mexico and just has a great time, and like they're all coming from like New York, so they don't know what tacos are or anything, and it was kind of interesting for me to watch, and just I didn't really think about like culture shock like that just in like the United States.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Interesting. Favorite sports movie?
I forgot the name of it, but I remember like completely what it was about. It was about Texas Longhorn, like boy from Colorado. He moved down to
Yes.
UT,
Yeah,
and he ended up having like a tumor like in his leg, and he just like played through it. And the doctors had no idea like how he was even able to walk.
What was that
And-
called? Somebody's going to let us know, but I know
Yeah.
exactly the movie you're talking about. And I'm not a UT fan, but I watched it anyway. So, Zach, you got a favorite sports movie?
yeah, my favorite sports movie is probably Blindside by
Okay.
Michael Orr, and he came from like nothing, not really knowing football, to being one of the best tackles ever.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's
I-
a pretty good movie. I
I
like
can
it.
go with that. All right, Grant, we're going to start you off. We're going to let you guys go. You guys have been great and answering all the questions. You guys could probably do the show. Who knows? I don't know. You guys are here working anyway, and you're here eating all the time. So,
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, we
Definitely.
could replace Coach Mann, don't you think?
yeah, I mean, you did, Coach. I got this.
Yeah, I think he's not even paying attention. So we'll
Exactly.
see, because we're missing Hagan and Welton, our Monday Mayhem segment. We're going to try to get them on because they're at Aurora University, but I don't know if anybody can top those two. Those two were some characters. But before we let you go, anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Shout out to my mom and dad.
I'd love to give a shout out to all my friends and family, just because they've supported me through everything.
And I want to give a shout out to all my coaches and family.
Shout out Tyler Barbsky as well. He's mobile.
And Blake Meyer Phillips, yeah. All right. We appreciate you guys. It's been the Senior Spotlight moment. We're going to take a quick break. Come back. We'll talk to the O-line coach for the Rouse Raiders, Coach Hayhurst. We'll be back with more Inside Raider Nation right after this.
The Crossover's vision is to give kids and adults a chance to find out what they're passionate about and to motivate them to work hard to achieve great things. We want to bring families together in one destination where they can enjoy their time together no matter what dreams they are chasing. From here, you can go anywhere. The Crossover is Cedar Park's premier sports, wellness, and entertainment destination and is a proud supporter of Rouse Raiders football. Visit crossovertx.com to learn more and go Raiders. Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue. Our pits are 100% wood-fired with oak, a slower burning wood than the mesquite used by others. Along with thyme and oak, we cook with a dry spice that ensures each plate of Rudy's Barbecue is perfectly ready for you. Apply some of our famous sauce, and dinner is served.
Welcome back to Inside Raider Nation, live here from Sharksburger, and I have with me Coach Hayhurst, the O-line coach for the Rouse Raiders. Coach, this is year what for you at Rouse? Yep, you're good.
It's going into my third season.
Third season. Time is flying by, isn't it?
It is way too quick. I got
It
a
is.
6-year-old at home, so it's definitely going by fast.
Yeah, it's going by fast. She is a pistol. That's a good thing, right? I mean, she is just a live wire all the time. And you think about your time here when you started. What's the one consistent thing that you've seen in the community and the kids, just as your time here and your short time here with the Rouse Raiders?
Just the appreciation that the community has for the team, for the staff, for the kids, and then kind of vice versa. Just that community feel that we have. That's what I really like about. Even though we're a multi-high school district, you still get to kind of pull in that small town feel.
Yeah, I think it's just that community and a family type atmosphere, different from any other school, even Leander ISD. I just think the community it's that blue collar mentality. We're not too flashy. We're not worried about the praise. We just do the work. And
Correct.
One thing that I will say, and Coach, I definitely, between you and Coach Ellison, try to give you those big nasties down in the trenches a lot of love, is the ability to mix and match that offensive line in a game, because that happens sometimes. But for those kids to have the knowledge to be able to do that and not miss a beat, I don't think Mason got touched all night long.
No, they did a great job. We in the scrimmage we kind of had the same ordeal. I got a little dry run at piecing that puzzle together. So I told Coach Mann when we were done, I said I may never do a puzzle again in my life, just because there was so much mixing and matching. But a credit to those guys, because even though it's not their position, if I got to go left guard or right guard's got to move to tackle to get somebody else in that's really only rep that, they were able to really switch back and forth and know where they were supposed to be, and then plus just the communication. When there was somebody in that may not have knew the position 100%, and with our calls and our system, what we use, they were able to get to the right people.
Yeah, it was good to see because of the mix and match, but the young kids get in the game, right, and seeing that, being able to handle the pressure under the Friday night lights, because it can be a pretty big stage. And when you look up in the stands, the crowd that was there, the whole environment, that can scare and make kids nervous sometimes. But it seemed like even with Mason coming in and being part of that offensive line, did a great job as a freshman. You had some sophomores step up, and then you're led by Alex DeVille. Blake Meyer Phillips did a great job at center. You're still missing that one piece that I know you and I have talked about is Grant being back out there, and it's going to be like just unleashing the beast when he gets out there, I'm sure, and gets cleared to play.
Oh, for sure. You know, he just brings that leadership, having, you know, played last year all the way through the playoff games. And then, you know, this year, him being a senior. And it just, you know, he's a guy that knows where he's supposed to be as well as others. He can coach others. And then the offseason really took a leadership role that I was really proud of. And, you know, he was hard on some of the kids, but would love them up. And that's, you know, that's what you want out of your seniors.
Yeah. And you have the luxury, I guess, to have a Rouse alum to help you. An All-American at U of H, Will Noble. How's the chemistry between you and Will?
Oh, it's great. You know, we bonded. Felt like just that first day. You know, just being two former offensive linemen. Me, a lot more former than him. But you know, we just instantly, you know, some of the things we would talk about with each other, even though we played at, you know, different schools, different conferences. It was just, you know, it's O-line play. It's what it is, and you know, we've kind of been able to give that to the kids, and we're on the same page and really everything that we do, and how we talk and coach the kids and terminology and technique, and so it's been a blessing.
Yeah, it's been good to see him out there. I mean, what a cool moment to have an alum, an All-American at the college level, to come back and coach these kids, these young kids, because there's some good young offensive linemen coming up through the ranks. So it's going to be important to have that energy, but to also have that leadership and instill that, because you guys have been there before, and the guys talked about it a little bit in their interview. You guys have been in those trenches, so you know exactly what they're talking about. And so I think it's really good for the Rouse football program as a whole, but I think you've got some young linemen coming up that Coach Mann may get back to running the ball a little bit more. I don't know how Coach Plays is going to feel about that, but you know, because he likes to air it out a little bit. But I think it's going to be keeping the pocket clean, and who knows what the limit is for those guys. The sky's the limit.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of good size.
Yeah, there is. Ends. So we're going to ask you the tough questions, Coach. Favorite flavor of ice cream?
Butter pecan.
Butter pecan. Yeah, you know, we do Wolfpack football, the minor league football team, and there's one guy that said butter pecan, and I told him that's an old people ice cream. So I'm going to give you a hard time because you said butter pecan.
Oh, yeah, it's delicious.
I do that now on the air. Second time. That's the second time we had somebody say butter pecan. I really thought you were going to say like Rocky Road or something like that.
Butter pecan. I'll eat anything.
I'll eat anything, right? If you could live anywhere, beach or the mountains, where would you live? Oh,
it's tough. Can I go summer, winter?
Huh?
Can I go one in the summer, one in the winter?
You got to be there year round. It's tough.
That is tough. Well, I would say because of my wife, we probably have to go mountains because she loves the beach but hates the sand.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I
we'll go mountains.
That. Mountains, you got to decompress a little bit, get away, get off the grid. Who was your hero or somebody that you looked up to growing up?
Really two people very influential. One was my mom. Single mom, worked a few jobs just to, get us going where we needed to go. So definitely her, and then obviously my high school coach because he really took over that father figure.
Yeah.
It was some really tough love, but it was what I needed at the time.
Yeah, which I think makes a difference in your coaching style for what you do now with the kids, right?
Oh, no question.
There's times where I've seen you pretty intense. I think in the scrimmage, I saw one time you were pretty intense with one of the players, but then it was the next play, you were the first one there to give him praise. And so that's so important, I think, the relationship that you have with those kids. One other question that we're going to ask you is anything before the game that you have to do? Is there superstition or pregame ritual that goes on with Coach Hayhurst?
Yes.
Okay.
I before we leave, get on the bus to go, I go through shoes, socks, pants, belt, shirt, I would say probably 60 times to make sure I've got all my stuff. And then once I get to the game, I between my Sharpies and chapstick, like everything I carry in my pockets, it's just, double checking, making sure everything's there before we go out and before we get on. And it really just comes from not leaving anything behind and making sure I've got everything I need. I always carry 3 Expos, 4 Sharpies.
There you go.
So yeah, it's
So if I need a
Yeah.
Sharpie on the sideline, I'm coming to you.
well, Coach Pleasant usually steals one early,
Oh.
so I
Well, he
bought
knows-
him a whole box for Christmas
Yeah.
last year.
Yeah. Well, he knows you got them, so why bring them, right?
Exactly.
So was it a point that you forgot something, and it just became now a habit to check all of that?
No, just always been that way.
Okay.
Just you can ask Coach Alexander office. He sits next to me in the office, and with Coach Elrod, and I'm label makers. Like my scissors are labeled, so I'm just that type of guy. I like to have
Organization,
those
detail,
things.
but that's attention to detail. That's the reason the Rouse Raider offensive linemen have been successful in the last 3 years. Or we're going on 3 years. We're going to call it successful this year as well, especially when you can keep the quarterback clean and you can create holes like they did up front, and you're still missing a couple of pieces. Yeah, it's going to be fun to watch, and we're looking for that deep run. So no pressure at all. It's all on Coach Mann. Right. He's a head coach. He gets all the credit and all the blame.
Oh, yeah.
So, all right, before we let you go, Coach, because we've taken enough of your time, anybody you want to give a shout-out to?
just my wife and my daughter. They're in football season. Don't get to see them a whole lot, and so we'll get out in the woods and go fishing soon.
There you go. At least get to see you on the show tonight. And then,
Oh yeah, they're watching.
There you go. All right, so Coach, we appreciate your time, and as always, good luck, and we look forward to seeing you on the field on Friday.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to take a break. We'll bring Coach Mann back up, and we'll start wrapping up the show, but we'll talk about Anderson coming up this week on Friday at Nelson Field. You are watching Inside Raider Nation here live from Sharksburger.
Chaparral Ice and Field, located in Austin and Cedar Park. We offer a variety of classes and adult leagues in skating, hockey, cricket, curling, soccer, and lacrosse. Come on down to the coolest place in Texas, Chaparral Ice and Field. We aren't just ice anymore. Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue. Our pits are 100% wood-fired with oak, a slower burning wood than mesquite used by others. Along with thyme and oak, we cook with a dry spice that ensures each plate of Rudy's Barbecue is perfectly ready for you. Apply some of our famous sauce, and dinner is served. Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue. Our pits are 100% wood-fired with oak, a slower
Welcome back to Inside Raider Nation live from Sharksburger. And Mr. Hayden Wood, his favorite sports movie that neither he or I could think of. Obviously, somebody texted me, My All-American was the movie.
Oh, okay.
So I couldn't recall, but that shows I'm getting old. But one thing we're not getting old about and not forgetting is the rest of our sponsors is Jamie Armstrong, eXp Realty, Yard Bash, Texas Regional Bank, Serenity Pools, Covert Cadillac, and, of course, our host here, Sharksburger, and the last one, Lacombe Chiropractic and Massage Center. Those are rented lips, and it's a Monday. We're all good. But we're going to throw up, Cody, the graphics and go through. Coach Mann's going to do the Players of the Week this week. A lot of quality candidates that you had to kind of narrow down. I mean, it's a hard decision to make.
Those are fun conversations when you get into the coach's office, So our defense player of the week, Ashton Davis, senior, and really, first start, thought we had a great game again. Was on pace to really get up in that double-digit tackle before we had to pull him in the third. Caden Heitzman and Ryan Payne, really proud of those two. They're anchoring down that JV defense that really almost pitched a shutout the other night, and we're going to be talking about those two guys a lot coming up in the future. They're really, hinge-worthy varsity players, but because of just depth we have right now up above them, they're having to play on JV. But the way they approach it, the way they work, they just want to play and get better. So super proud of them. And on the freshman, Jackson Coltese had 2 interceptions, one for a pick 6 in the freshman scrimmage. And so he showed wide receiver skills, but Coach Alexander said, no, I'm keeping that one. So, we get in those debate arguments, says you need to go offense, defense, and Coach A is really hunkering down, fighting for him.
They the freshman won 31-10, and then
Yes,
JV won
38-10.
38-10.
38. Was
Somebody
31,
will
38?
tell us.
31. Okay.
We got the official.
31-10. Was that the
31-30.
freshman score? There you go.
Yeah.
I wanted to give him more.
17-8 was the JV.
17-8. Yep.
Okay. All right, we're going to go to the next one here, which is
The offense player of the week, Jalen Becerra. Again, he had an unbelievable night on the receiving yards, but 6 pancakes gets you player of the week as a wide receiver, no doubt. His unselfishness, love for his teammates who were so super excited. So a lot of guys you could have gone with. Mason, Troy, all those. But when we grade out with 6 pancakes, you get player of the week. Then almost non-negotiable.
And
then JV was J. Tom McLaren. He was our running back. Didn't have a lot of yards in the game. It was pretty tough sledding up front for us. But when it came down to a couple key drives, he got a couple yards, held on to the ball, had some great cut blocks on the edge. He had to grow up during that game and did a great job. We're excited about him. And then, you're testing my eyesight here. Noah, what's the last name? Fabila, yeah. Our freshman offensive player of the week. He did a tremendous job for them as well, playing outside receiver. He's our Z on the right side and had a great game. Did really well.
And Jayton, that's the second week in a row that he has been the player of the week. So a great job by him. Then the next one, I believe, is the overall player of the week, which Cody's helping you out.
Cody, they're good, but that's pretty good. I got good eyes. That's pretty small font there. So, overall player of the week for varsity is Corey Simmons, first time. But, again, had a great night on the receiving yards, but you saw him. He's running down on kickoff. He's back there on kickoff return. He's out there on punt. There's not a special team that we don't have him listed somewhere on, and he just we don't ever have to wait for him. He's first out there, and for a senior wide receiver starter to do that, that's pretty special. The Rocket, Keller Rogers, JV player of the week, had 2 punt returns. One got called back, but it really set the spark for our JV offense to get them going. Also had the touchdown reception in the game, so he fought through that. Again, another kid that could easily be up on varsity, but with depth that we have with obviously the guys returning in the seniors, we got to get him where he can play right now, and he's doing a great job. And then Matthew Steck, 3 touchdowns on the night in the freshman game, and caught 2 little posts over the middle where he was twisting, then put his foot in the ground. And, we'd moved a couple freshmen up to the JV, and it gave him a chance to really shine. And, man, he was like, maybe we moved the wrong guys up. This guy can go. He had an outstanding week. It was fun to see our freshmen jump off to the start they did last week.
Yeah, it was good. There was a great photo that we got of Matthew Steck, one of those over-the-middle catches that he made. And I believe the last one is we have 2?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm way behind.
Special teams. Don't forget
Okay.
special teams. Come
Cannot
on.
forget
the most
special
important
teams.
group, Coach Jacob DeLeon. Cannot not go with him. The way he lays out, the way he runs down the field on all the deals, gets our punt lined up, calls out the protection up front, does a great job there. Justin Tatum, our kicker for the JV, again, had a great night. We went down and we needed a critical field goal to put us up and kind of give us a lead. It was 7-8 them. He goes down, puts a 24-yarder through, bangs it through, was perfect on his PATs all night. That's sometimes going to be a tricky thing on the JV, and he really executed, did well. And then Connor Lyons, our freshman kicker, did a tremendous job, was perfect on all of his PAT attempts. We really had a successful night overall kicking. We only had 1 glip all night, and that was, we had a bad snap on one of the PATs in the varsity. On that, they were perfect, and I was really proud of them.
So does that stat go against Mason? Or his PATs were perfect, right?
Mason's were perfect, and Mason's field was unfortunately it was Zach's turn when that happened.
Zach got
We're going
that
to put it on. We'll put it on the snapper and holder.
There you go.
Won't blame Zach on that.
Yeah, there you go. And also 36-yard field goal by Mason during the game, so it was good.
Yeah,
got
him in that situation,
the game and in that pressure situation. Wind did die down for you there because it was. I don't know where that rain came from.
Little
in the game,
sprinkle
but
got us wet.
Yeah.
And then last but not least, the most important, that's our scout team, Aiden Acton and Wyatt Brady. Gosh, can't get them off the field in practice. And they're why it's just, Coach, you need me on this, 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 and love that, especially a young man that maybe kind of was struggling and didn't know if he really wanted to play, and then he just kind of found the love again and been super excited him. And Aiden goes both ways. He's not really a center by trade. He's probably a defensive lineman by trade, but we need him to play center right now, and he's cowboying up and getting that job done, and then he'd go in and get defense and go get some sacks. So did a great job. I was really excited about him. Amy McKee, there's a running feud between me and Miss McKee, who's number one at Rouse right now, because we're two of the oldest people now at Rouse. We both came in the door at almost, I think, I'll call it a tie, but actually I'll give her the nod, even though my parking tag was ahead of her parking tag when we looked at it. But she's been one of the biggest backbones of Rouse High School since we opened, and what she's done with the rural program, the support. We've been out there, and it's been pouring rain. Everybody's getting on the buses or cars and going home, and the Royals are going to stand right there in that rain. They're going to put their R's up. They're going to sing the school song and get after it, regardless of what's going on. And if she doesn't get to go a game, everybody in the world's going to know, because she's going to fight like getting there. And just the awards and accolades she's got over the year, but she's one of the best. And then our sports med, we can't do enough without them. Sebastian Neve, been around the program seems like forever now, and is super excited to have them, and does a great job for our trainers. Luckily we didn't have to use them very much this week on the field.
Right.
So they gave us enough excitement in other places, but we're happy for them, and always appreciate the service that they do for us.
Yeah, they do a great job, Coach Miss Gafford and Coach Lawrenson, right?
Yes.
All right. Yeah, I always pause when I say his name because I don't like to butcher people's last names. But anyway, we're going to now talk about Anderson, which I know there's some, I don't know what you would call it. We're not going to give him any bulletin board material, but I don't think we're really worried about that. I think there's enough already out there, the kids, and EJ talked about it the first week that we had the show. That was one of the games he was looking forward to. Obviously, he's going to miss that game, but I know it's a little hot spot, I guess you could say.
Yeah, I mean, we've got some history with Anderson over the past couple of years. Have not played well, and it's just been a weird game every year. We jumped out early, and I believe 18 on them, got a lead, slowly lost the lead, had a chance to go down and win the game, and really put a notch and beat a good Anderson team, and really take the next step, and didn't get it done like on the 4th and 1, and just didn't get it in to win the game, and that was really kind of a crushing blow to that season, and it could have gone either way. And then the next year, unfortunately, and we lost Isaiah Cash in that game to a collarbone, and then the next year we jump up, we're on them, they come back, we got a chance 2 minutes to go down and win the game, and fortunately we lost Jack Wingard in that game, and that really, losing a captain like Jack was devastating. So, it's just been one of those teams, like, I feel like we've had the upper hand and been in there ahead of them and controlling, and it just somehow slipped away. So this is definitely the last. I really wanted to, obviously play them last year because, again, get that chance. And, you haven't beat a team. You want to beat them. You want to show that you can and do that. And we haven't done that. So to them, they have all the power going into this, not us. They beat us twice. Why shouldn't they do it again? And then, we work with them and a couple of schools in the summer, and we got to know them real well. So almost too well.
Almost too well.
But like I told the guys, all that stuff honestly doesn't matter, because when you play, you can't worry about what the past records or stats are. Or heck, Vandergrift shouldn't have beat Cedar Park last week if that's the case. So you got to throw all that out the window. And if you're worried about who said what back in June, that has no bearing on how we're going to play this week. And they're going to be a tough team. They're going through some transitions. They've had some battles. They got a new coach that's fighting for, in the interim right now, fighting to get his team going. They had a tough loss in the Chocolate Shack Bowl. That's always a big game for them. So they're going to look to get off that skid. And, they definitely had us circled as well. And they do some good things. They're going to present us a different front than what we've seen. They're going to be a 4-2-5 mainly on defense. Well, at least that's what they showed the first 2 weeks. So that's a little different because we've seen 3-4s. And so we got to, it changes your rules a little up front. We got to be got to clean that up, make sure we're good to go there. And then, they're probably going to be a little different offensively. They have a great running back. I like the way he runs. He's downhill running. Quarterback, when he has time and he can set his feet, throws great balls. We saw that all summer. They got a stud kid that's coming up as a freshman right now, starting for them. who's an elite. I mean, he's fast. He can go. I mean, he's built well. I like how he plays. I think he's going to be really tough. He's going to definitely challenge us. You know, we've got to get pressure. We got to affect their front. If we can keep him moving, then he can't be accurate. That's one of our goals, and obviously get some things to give them to look at, and you know. But he can run too, the quarterback. So we see some more power read, some zone read. So we got a little dose of that last week. So we've got to continue to fix that. Biggest thing for us is clean up our mistakes from burning. It starts there. Like I told the coaches on the weekend, if we don't fix what we didn't do well, we're going to see a whole lot of it again this week, and we'll keep getting it until we coach it and fix it. So hopefully we get some of those things fixed, cleaned up, that we didn't feel like we were where we should be in week one. And they're going to present a test. You know, it's first road trip. You got to go on the road. You know, in all that environment, like we found out last week, it was, Bible, we're just going there. Well, we didn't anticipate, that large of a crowd, which was amazing.
Yes.
Student section, loud, raucous, amazing. Cheer up and down the sideline, not standing in one corner, and how loud that was. The rolls, the band were super loud, and it affected us. It kind of got some guys looking in the stands like, oh, my gosh, where last year we had crowds, but, we were mitigated and all that, and, heck, we could yell on the field anything we wanted and tell them anytime what adjustment. Well, we were all hoarse because, we were screaming. They couldn't hear us. Hurry, get set. And, at the same time, not everybody got to hear all the things we were saying from the field up, or our players said too. So it was a neat atmosphere. We're going to get to see what it looks like now going on the road to a different stadium, getting on the bus, doing all those things. So it's another first in a lot of categories that we got to check off to get us ready for district play eventually.
Yeah, that was one of the questions I was going to have for you is obviously the next Anderson, Weiss, you have a bye week, and then it's at Bastrop, I believe, to start. So the whole month of September, you're going to be on the road. That's going to be key and really a good test for your team, just how they can handle being away from home. But, again, I think if we see the mentality that they have, it's just go and line up and let's go play football. Yeah,
traveling, unless you're going to Brenham, Elgin, where we're really kind of getting out, we're always on the road. We don't have a home stadium. We're always going to get on a yellow dog. We always got to pack the travel trailer. We always got to do all that stuff. Have to leave 35, 40 minutes earlier than if you're Leander walking out your door.
Right.
And so that's always been one nice thing I've always told them, like, it don't matter. What's the difference between Palace and Bible? What's the difference between Nelson Field and this stadium? It's not much. So that's something I don't worry about. But it is different when you don't have that. Everybody's used to being at Bible. The student, you don't travel maybe as many as if you were at home. But I think Raider Nation is going to show up Friday night. It's our first Friday night game in a while. I feel like we've been on Thursdays with the scrimmage and everything. So gained that extra day this week, which I'm glad, to get that. And so get on a Friday routine and go to work.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting at Nelson Field, one of the old stadiums, kind of get there and have that atmosphere and that vibe. But before we wrap up, Coach, and you got some shout-outs and some things that you want to mention.
Well, obviously shout out to the student body. Wow, unbelievable job they did. And, they're really getting into this. They're talking about tomorrow night going out to Round Rock, and I think they wanted to do a whiteout or something and get out there and support the volleyball team. Shout out to Coach Thompson, the volleyball team, and every volleyball team that came and played in Volleyball Palooza, especially the team from California. What an amazing event. All those people on campus went really smooth, no issues, no bumps. And so that's always something we're happy to have and be behind us on campus. Yeah. So we're excited that's through. I also want to shout out the Booster Club. Going and having a game at Bible right out the gate can be tough. You got the concession stands. You got to get all this ready, get the run through. And, I dropped the ball, didn't tell the run through tunnel crew, no, we're going to be on the other side. They started setting up like, oh, no, they're going to really hate me here. But they did, Coach, we got your back. Just drug that sucker all the way to the other end. And it was awesome. That was so neat to get to go do that again and walk behind the stadium and come out the game. Also, so they obviously do a great job. I also want to shout out to Sharon Lacombe, our fundraiser deal. We just wrapped up our silent auction on the deal. Drew in a great number, more than what it was less than what her expectations are, but her expectation of fundraising is so high. But I was like, you don't understand. That's like 3 times we've ever done on a silent auction. Yeah. So appreciate to all those that donated and got on there and gave us stuff to be able to do the silent auction, but also went in and bid. We raised good money there, and that's already paid for our knee braces and stuff that we desperately needed. The O-line loves knee braces, don't you guys? There's some kind of mixed thumbs in the air there. But I'm so happy because that's neat to see our community growing and the list of sponsors we read off each week. If this sport is not cheap, it takes a lot to get in it. So super proud of all that. And one last shout out I have is this Friday is it's September 3rd, which is a certain person in our family's birthday, Miss Brandy Mann.
Oh.
I won't give her age away tonight. I might maybe have a plane fly over with her age or something on a banner at the game.
Yeah.
But
I think it's going to be
don't do
happy
that.
birthday.
Just happy birthday.
And
maybe
just be done because you put the age.
No, it's her birthday this Friday. So we've had pretty good runs on birthdays here lately, whether it be mine or hers. So guys, we got to go do work. We got to win that game because I don't want to come home with a L on Miss Brandy Mann's birthday. So.
Yeah.
We're super grateful. You talk about the backbone of our house. Nothing gets done without her taking care of us, and just whether it's laundry or reminding us that you might need to do this week. Oh yeah, that's important to do, and keeping the boys on track, me on track, and just taking care of us. We really do appreciate her.
Not only Coach Mann's wife, but all the coaches' wives and all that they sacrifice and have to deal with. Some grumpy guys coming home and they're tired and hungry, and those long hours, it wears on them, and they deserve medals for sure, the coaches' wives, because it's tough. It's a long season, and we're planning on a long season. I told Coach Ahurst, no pressure on him. It's all on you. Head coach gets all the credit and all the blame. So
true.
Coach Mann is handling
But I get to control how long those meetings are on Saturday if it's not going well. So.
It's true, yeah. So there's a little give and take there, so that's definitely for sure. So Friday night, Nelson Field, it's against Austin Anderson, the Trojans, and I'm looking forward to a great game and a great atmosphere, but I'm also looking for a high-scoring affair. And
I hope just on one side.
Yeah, yes.
I don't want a shootout.
No, we don't. No, we don't. Not a Big 12 game. We're not going to do that. I'm not sure anybody would survive that back and forth. We already did that once, but that was in the playoffs.
Correct.
So we'll save that one for the playoffs. But, again, for all our sponsors for bringing you Inside Raider Nation as well as Rouse Raider football this 2021 season, we appreciate Sharks Burgers for being the host of Inside Raider Nation, everybody that comes out to grab some good food and to watch the live show. We appreciate you coming out. And to Coach Mann for his ability to be candid but not give away too many secrets. He's getting really good at this. So we might have some candidates, Grant Newman, Hayden, for our Monday Mayhem. We're going to try to get that, and we're going to try to get Austin Welton and Josh Hagan, our former Rouse
awesome.
alums.
We got to get those guys back. Shout out to all the Aurora.
Yeah.
All those boys up in Aurora doing work.
Doing their work. So for everybody on the A&Z Sports Media team, for Cody Franks, executive producer, for Coach Mann, and myself, I'm Sonny Zapeta, voice of the Raiders, saying good night and God bless until next time. And as always, go Raiders.